Good evening. Welcome home. My name is Daniel Brower. I use he, she, or they pronouns, and I am the transitional minister here at First Christian Church of Decatur. Welcome back to 601 Wednesday, our midweek meditation moment. After an abundance of technical difficulties, we are back again in the middle of the week, ready to have a easy and simple conversation about love. I know that's typically more of a February thing, but it's been top of mind lately, so I figured I'd talk about it with you guys. Now, as Christians, we talk about love a lot. Love one another, love your enemies. Love as Jesus loved. We love him because he first loved us. I swear I know the verse even though I just flubbed it, etc. It can start to feel like just another thing that we say. One of those things that makes us us. They'll know we are Christians by our love, or at least by how much we talk about love, because it's very easy to talk about. It's very easy to say the words. And it's harder to know what that means exactly. Or at least for me, it is sometimes, because when you think about it, it's kind of a hard thing to wrap your mind around. Like I said, it's easy to say with your mouth, I love you, even though you're a terrible human being. But being able to actually live that out is a lot harder. Because how do you love someone who hurts you? How do you love someone who hurts other people? How do you love someone who hates? What does loving someone actually mean, in this regard? Jesus says to love our enemies. And in the Greek, that word for love is agape. Now, agape, you might know this from Sunday school, it means unconditional love. It has nothing to do with the thing that is loved, whether it's worthy or not. It is just unconditional love. Agape love has equal regard for the well-being of another person. Not that every person that is loved will be treated in an identical way, but that each person will be recognized as worth being well. It's, equity, not equality in love kind of thing, right? Agape is an unconditional commitment to the good of another person. Not only that we have, you know, regard for them, but that we're committed to seeing good done for them. Okay, got that. Too easy. So, if we are then to look after the good of others, if that's what loving them means, in the immortal words of Nicki Minaj, what's good? What does that mean? Does doing good by others mean just letting them do whatever they want? Does good mean just the opposite of bad? Or does it mean doing nothing? The word that Jesus uses for good do good to those who hate you means well. Do well by those who hate you, in other words. Be committed to doing well by other people. Okay, so whatever we're supposed to be doing here is active. To love someone as Jesus did, to love our enemies, we have to actively seek their well-being. Well, what's that mean? Again, how am I supposed to seek the well-being of someone who hates? Well, agape love doesn't mean letting someone just continue to be a jerk. It doesn't mean letting their hatred run rampant because I love them too much to say anything. Loving people that hate, loving people who do terrible things is not just, you know, loving them and letting them do whatever. It's loving them enough to call it out. It's loving others and ourselves enough to refuse to let that action go on. It is loving enough to say that isn't loving. Does that make sense? I feel like I'm talking myself in circles. But to be fair, this is not my idea. Jesus is the one who said it first, love your enemies. And Jesus, not a doormat, you know? Even to the day of his trial, someone hit him in the face at his trial, and instead of being like pious and in silence, he turned around to him and said, "Why are you hitting me?" Love is not passive. Love doesn't just let things happen. A lot of times we get this feeling of like, if I love others, then I'm not going to call them out on anything. If I love my enemy, I'll just like let them do whatever. But love isn't being steamrolled. Love isn't just lying down and taking it. Love is being active. It's actively saying, I love myself and I love others enough to stop others from doing terrible things, from doing hateful things, from causing harm to other people. Striking the balance between an intolerance of evil and the good of even your enemies is not easy. I will freely admit that. And there is not a simple solution or a formula to loving your enemy and yet taking steps to end their hateful behavior. That is not an easy thing to do. Anyone who says it is trying to sell you something. It is a dichotomy that people have wrestled with basically since Jesus said it, probably even before then. I would venture to say that wanting the best for someone while hoping that they stop their harmful actions, it's almost inhuman. It is beyond typical human capacity to love someone who hurts us and not secretly hope that they fall in a ditch somewhere. And that beyond human quality is where Christ comes in. Jesus gives us the grace to be able to love people who do things that make them seem unlovable. Jesus, who flipped tables at the temple and still had grace to wish forgiveness on those who murdered him. This Jesus is the one that lives in us and gives us the means to live a love that does not stay silent in the face of evil, but overcomes evil with good, with love, and with well-being. And it's that love that we strive to live out in community each day here at First Christian Church of Decatur. And we would love to have you alongside us as we strive to do that. There are a lot of ways that you can join with us in fellowship. Come and visit us for our monthly blood drive tomorrow. Work alongside us at the toy park on the last Saturday of each month. Join us for dinner and discussion at Community Dinner the last Wednesday of every month. This month is going to be a really cool one. We're screening a documentary. More info about that on the Facebook page. Or just stop by Chalice Thrift on Thursdays and Saturdays from 10 to 2. We got a lot of cool stuff. Sale is still going on for the rest of August. And of course, the best time to jump into our beloved community is Sunday morning at worship. We open Sunday mornings with Tai Chi at 8:45, followed by Sunday school at 9:15, and our worship service at 10:25. Now you can join into any or all of that as you prefer. Come and leave, come late, come early, however you want to do it, in person or online, however you want to play it is okay with us. And of course, it's also okay with us if you don't participate at all. It does not mean that you are less beloved or beautiful, because you know what? God made you special. God loves you very much. And so do I. Have a good night, everyone. See you next time. I hope, if Facebook cooperates.